Yo, Forza Milan. Wow, what a fight. Was a tough game. I don't think we play well, but what it matters is just the 3 points. Just waiting for Roy. Roy will join us soon. In the meantime, just kind of doing the warm up before we start talking about the game. I was just looking at the stats here. It's pretty interesting. I mean, quite scary to see the stats just at San Siro dominating so strongly. Fiorentina and still not winning the game. Mike Magnan was insane today. It's just crazy, man. 41% in San Siro for Milan as a possession. That means I don't know. I feel like not even prime Barcelona we did these stats. We really were in a bad situation. But I think overall Pioli prepared the game well. That's what we had to do. We had to go on a counter and punish Fiorentina with the space they would leave to us. Let me see the chat. We have just 2 messages at the moment in the chat. It's quite just 12 people watching the live. So is it anything? There's any problem with the algorithm? Usually there's more people after the game, but I guess it's Saturday, so it makes sense. Let me see what's going on here. Maybe there is a problem. It is a problem here. Oh yeah, it's called post match. The live, the thumbnail is wrong. I'll change the thumbnail in a second. Let me change it. Maybe that is the issue. But anyway, yeah, I mean Chukwueze. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, guys. Chukwueze is not gonna be our saver. It's gonna be just an okay player. Spend a lot of money on just an okay player. A lot of money. I mean, 25 million is a lot for us. Objectively speaking, it's not a lot of money nowadays football, but it's a lot for us. As I always say, we could have allocated those resources on a better player, but it's done. We find Chukwueze in the same team we found Castillejo. They are the same exact player, just the color changes. It's not gonna. It's like the iPhone 15. You can have it black or white. That's Castillejo and Chukwueze. Same thing, it's different color. But anyway, what I wanted to say before we start with the in-depth analysis, that is what we needed to do. That is exactly what we needed to do. We needed to win the game, get the 3 points, and move on. Because Dortmund is a bigger game, it's more important. And I liked Pioli changing Pulisic when Ruben Loftus-Cheek came in. That was a great, thinking. Even though I would have preferred at least Romero to come in as well, because I know Chukwueze will play the whole game against Dortmund. We don't have any other options on the right. Unless Pioli plays more defensive, unless Pioli puts on the right Musa, but I don't think we have a lot midfielder as well to do, experiments. So I don't know. We will see. But yeah, 3 points are important. So, first of all, hello everyone, and Forza Milan. And second of all, something is wrong with the team mentality. I don't think anything is wrong with team mentality. It's just that's it. This is the team. This is how we perform. This is the player we bought. The players we bought. Uh, it's not exceptional. It's not bad. It's there in the middle, fighting for top four. That's the team. Let me see what Pete is saying. Hey, like great result today. The game wasn't good performance, but with the team, okay, with the team we feel today, weren't expecting. Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, if anyone saw the live yesterday, I was actually convinced that we're not gonna win to this game, that we will draw the game. And to be fair, who Mike Magnan is the reason why we won this game and we didn't draw this game. Because Theo Hernandez, yeah, got that great moment, got a penalty and everything. But Mike Magnan is the biggest reason why we got 3 points instead of one today. Jovic had an okay game. Okay, I would say, because to be fair, the team was not performing offensive football, so the guy can run with the ball, can pass, can dribble. Yeah, couldn't control the ball. Are we still talking about Chukwueze? So no, I mean it's not that bad. It's not it's not good. Chukwueze is not good. Told you. The right wing should have not been touched this season. We should have kept Messias and Salemakers. Add Pulisic as a Leao replacement. End of the story. Bang. You have Pulisic on the left wing when Leao is tired, injured, red card. Or on the right wing as well if you want. That's fine. Well. We won't look at that. Yeah. No. I think Musa is performing at the level we all expected. Is giving a lot of energy to the game. I think the problem with Musa is that we needed more defensive midfielders with a bit more experience, ready to go. But let's see. Um, I'm looking at these stats and things are crazy here. Things are crazy. Fiorentina had 60% possession, 4 shots, 4 shots on target, 21 total shots. 21. That is crazy. Just crazy. And the passing precision of Milan is just embarrassing. 76% passing precision. I just want to check now what team reached that low level of passing precision. I just want to check now, for example, a weak team like a Genova. Genova against us, 81% passing precision. Cagliari against us, 82% passing precision. We usually go on the 93% passing precision. bad, really bad. Let's see Lazio against us. 85. So basically, passing precision is just bad. One of the worst in Serie A, probably. Let me check if there is any team that has. Let me see Frosinone, their passing precision. So Torino, no, they won here, so I assume. Yeah, 79. Frosinone. Frosinone. Empoli is the worst that at the moment I've seen against Frosinone. 71% passing precision. Just embarrassing. Frosinone against Inter had a better passing precision than us today. But anyway, this is the table. The passing precision is crazy, by the way. Less than, well, 76% is really low. Uh, Ben, I think it's Benacer. Yeah, he will come back strong. He will give and he has so much quality compared to our midfield. He will look so much better. Yeah, man, I've been telling people. People needs to apologize to you, but it's fine. So 5 Jer okay, 5 Jerry players started today. Go by 10 and saved by Mike Mania. Yeah, that's the fact. The players we bought, man, they're not really so impactful and they're not game changer. Isham, people are apologizing to you, man. Some people at least. Next, please. We've been going live after a lot of wins, man. It's just Milan hasn't won a lot recently. You're confused. We've been live in most of the wins we've done. We've been live. So you're confused here. Yeah. Yeah, when we lose, people shut up. The people that were really excited about the team, they don't raise their voice. They hide. They don't come on the chat. I'm sure they're listening, and we come on live every time. We come live even when we win, and we actually tell what are the issues even when we win. So it's because it's not about us, by the way. We care about Milan. We really want Milan to win all the games, and me being completely wrong because it's shit, man. Come on, Adley's not good enough. End of the story. He had a lot of games. He made a lot of mistakes. He was quite average off the ball. So end of the story. Don't need Adley anymore. Honestly, if you have other midfielder healthy, other ones will play. So Theo is not 26 years old. I don't think Theo is 26 years old. I think Teo is the same age of how's it called? Calabria. I'm actually gonna check now. Let me see. Milan. I think if I click on Teo Hernandez name. So Teo Hernandez. Oh, 1997. Okay. So that's he's going definitely for 26. 26 years old already. That's insane. 26 recently, 6th of October. Well, happy birthday to Teo Hernandez, by the way. Well, Teo is. We had an okay game, but it's not his fault. No one can really get the blame today. The team was good defensively. I mean, good. Let's say okay, but I don't know, man. It's just a weird season for me. It's a weird season because my expectations were really low at the beginning of the season. So I don't know. But anyway, Tomori got a yellow. Ternaz got a goal. Reinders had a good game, in my opinion. This formation is wrong. I don't think Musa played as a number 10. No one played as a number 10 today. Reinders had a good game. The midfield had an okay game, but they suffered a lot. We got dominated. I think Roy is here. I don't know if he's gonna
Yo, what
join.
up?
Yo, Roy,
How's it going?
it's going, man. It's going. I was talking about the stats. I'm gonna put them now so you can see them. It is crazy how we had 76% precision accuracy on the passing.
Mm, yeah.
You know that usually the
Wow.
worst the
2022,
teams
right?
get is 85. Not our team in general, Serie A teams. Between 80 and 85. We got 76% precision.
No, look, honestly, the way I saw the game, it was kind of how I expected the football is going to be.
Yeah, same.
Um, y- yeah, I think Pioli did a really good job in managing the game. Actually, I think he did a good job with the subs. Today, he wasn't really allowed to do too many subs, and I think he held the players on the pitch for the right amount of time. Now, of course, I think we got a little bit lucky because, first of all, that I'm really surprised they didn't call a penalty on Loftus Cheek. Uh, I don't understand the rules anymore. I officially do not understand the rules anymore. But anyway, whatever that was, I'm glad it went our way because I was 100% sure that was a penalty. Um, but apparently it isn't. So maybe I don't know the rules. I have to find them out. I thought we were a little bit lucky there, but at the same time, one thing about Fiorentina that has been a theme about Fiorentina this whole season is that they can't fucking score to save their lives. And I was kind of hoping on this aspect because we saw this against Juventus too. Fiorentina held the ball even more than I think the stats looked even crazier when Fiorentina played against Juventus. They cannot score. And that's what happened today. So, same thing. I think Milan winning today with a depleted team in a stadium that it was not electrifying, right? I noticed that from the get go. The stadium was not electrifying. Um, in a game day that is so important because if we would have lost today and tomorrow Inter wins or Juventus even wins, it would have been very difficult. So I think this is a massive win for Milan, massive win for Pioli, and it can kind of calm down the waters. We can finally calm down the waters a little bit. We have another game which is on paper easy, but no games is easy. As far as the quality of the game, honestly, like Fiorentina will not make you play good. And that's been the theme with all the teams. Fiorentina will keep the ball. They have a lot of quality. So I wasn't expecting Milan to play a big game today. But I found it very difficult. For Milan to lose today would have been a disaster. So I'm glad they pulled it off. And all in all, I think this is a really big victory. I know you were probably speaking about Chukwueze. Chukwueze,
Wait, before you speak about Chukwueze, uh, Paul is saying it's too early to call Chuk flop. Now, Paul, you're in London. You say that multiple times. What kind of substances you're buying, man? Because I want to try them as well. Just give me some of those sweet stuff you're using on
oh
the
yeah,
week.
they have good shit in London.
They have good shit, man. Look at what he's saying. He's
No, look, I think Paul is being trying to be positive and whatnot. He's trying to be generous with the players, but objectively speaking, at this point in time, I think a very objective analysis. Now that we've seen Chukwueze, we know how he plays. He's no better than Messias or Salamakers. He's pretty much I think he's not as good as them actually, and he still needs a lot of growth. Is he going to achieve that growth? I don't know. I don't know if he is the right winger that Milan was hoping to see, right? That superstar. I think he's more or less the same. I think Messias was better on the ball, actually, more intelligent on the ball, and Messias was more dangerous on the ball.
more
And
physical as well. More physical.
more physical, yeah, too. And Salamakers also was just more effective, throughout the game and all the other things he does. But also, I think Salamakers looked better to me on the ball, to be honest,
Yeah.
than Chukwueze. So I think Chukwueze is in a very dangerous spot. It could be another CDK situation or a Rigi situation, but let's see, because I mean, sooner or later he's going to bang one in, and the reaction of that is going to tell. But yeah, Chukwueze definitely maybe at a lower level than I initially thought, and I never thought he was great. I thought that he was
I
being.
thought I thought straight away we got scammed. The first training session. I have my receipt as well. I send a message to Red John. I have the screenshots and everything. People laughing at me when I say we got scammed this summer. The guy's gonna be 25 at the end of the season.
Yeah, listen, he had
He's
some
not
amazing.
even close. He's not even like close to Salamakers, Messias, and Diaz. He is at the level of Castillejo. He is at the level of Castillejo.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he could be that level, but again, it's still early, so to speak. There is still room for growth. What kind of growth it will be, I don't know. But one thing to be said is that in Spain he had some great moments against Real Madrid, against big teams. Now I know in Spain football is a little bit more fluid, more open. So maybe for Chukwueze things like that was easier. I don't know, or maybe just the the level of expectation and pressures at Villarreal are low, and players of the level of Chukwueze perform better there. Uh, but to me, it seems like he is not ready to be the guy that to replace Messias or Salamakers, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. But I don't know. I don't want to say he's done. Like he's never going to be good. I don't want to say that either. But
Yeah,
what
he's
we are
done.
seeing now is lower than what we saw from Messias and Salamakers. Much lower. I would say like 3 levels or 4 levels lower. Then
He's
we
done, man, because of course he will improve, but improving on what he is now is not exceptional. You're not you're
yeah.
not starting from here, and even if he improves, it's not nothing exceptional.
I think if he improves, he can become decent. I think he can become useful. But to be like Lard, there was a certain point in this summer that he was being sold as the Leao of the right side. You know,
Yeah, from the
uh,
drug dealers. So like
Right.
this.
But he's nowhere close to that. He's nowhere close to that. Anyway, he did put in a shift today. He worked his ass off. He did fight. He did play for the team. So that you can't take away from him. You can't take. He tried to do what he tried to do, but yeah, obviously we should have spent the money better for sure. But let's see. Maybe he's going to also. We also have to keep the door open in thinking that he might completely make us eat our words in the future. I don't know. What do you
Nah,
think?
man. Rarely I've seen people completely transform themselves from in 24 hours or in a week or whatever. It's never happened. With much better player than Chukwueze, by the way. Just to say something, by the way, the Milan journalist who talks about Milan, gives opinions about Milan and everyone else, they sounds a bit racist to me because the guy is black and they think he's gonna be the new Leao. CDK looks like Kaká is gonna be the new Kaká. Dude, just give a fucking football opinion for once.
I
Just
totally agree
watch
with it. I fucking
watch a game of Chukwueze, not the highlights of him playing with Villarreal B three
or
years
what he
ago.
looks like, or what he looks like.
Yeah, because I've seen the highlights of Chukwueze, man. Half of them are with Villarreal B in 2020 when he was in third division or second division in Spain with an empty stadium. Don't look at, oh, he's fast, he has pace, he's the new Leao. Fuck off, just watch football for a second. People need to start doing that, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, he aside from the performance on the ball, his overall performance, rather let's call it his work rate, I think was good today. Like he put in, he was defending all the way down the line, following the winger. So we saw him on Sotil a lot. So he was following the winger. He tried to do his things. There was an opportunity that maybe I think there was an opportunity where he created something nice. I think he passed the ball to Calab. Oh no, sorry, that was Reindeers. Never mind. Um,
Yeah, that was
oh yeah,
random.
oh yeah. There was an opportunity where he did put a good ball in for Pulisic, but Pulisic had a really bad touch, and maybe that was his best creating opportunity. And then he had the header, but it was too soft and central. Obviously, listen, we can't talk about Chukwueze the whole time, but let's just say that Chukwueze right now is like I'm tired of hearing the club sell us fucking bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, any words on Chukwueze? Last words.
Uh, no, I've said enough about him. Don't want to say anything more. People are not coming to apologize to me. That's fine. Paul is still gonna believe about Chukwueze just because he doesn't want to apologize to me. Paul is like, we need to give him time, and that's fine.
Reindeers Reindeers had a decent game. I thought there was a good moment. There's some moments where I wonder like why he does the decision he does, but whatever. There was a good moment where had a really nice through ball to Calabria, and Calabria could have squared the ball to Jovic, and Jovic could have gotten a goal. That was a very classic through ball square play, but Calabria opted to shoot from a really weird angle. And that moment would have been good. I think Ver Calabria that had a pretty good game, kind of messed it up for Jovic and Reindeers. But listen, I didn't see any spectacular things from the team today. No player today had a spectacular game. Everybody was pretty much normal, I would say. Even Magnan was pretty poor today, except for the last play, which was the most important play of the season, maybe so far in Serie A, when he saved the ball. But I didn't see any big performances from anybody today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, no, Mike Magnan had a good game. A bit. I think there was a moment that he was a bit like unsure about it, but he had a great save on that one when that guy in the first half was alone in front of him, but he had a heavy touch. Yeah, that was a great save because if you don't do it right, you get a penalty against, and
Yeah,
probably
that was a good save, but at the same time, thank the heavens that Beltran has a touch of a donkey, because
yeah, but yes, I agree.
any
But
pl-
still, you need to
any
save it.
normal player that would have touched that ball properly would have definitely not. I don't know if he would have scored. Maybe Magnan would have saved it better, but he would have at least taken a shot. But that touch Beltran did just took him out of the play. Yeah, no, I agree. Magnan today had some good moments, but overall, he almost it's not the same Magnan. Today we didn't see the big Magnan. Um, what was your opinion on Theo Hernandez like today? He scored the goal. He scored the penalty. He got the penalty. How was
He had a sloppy game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. He struggled a lot against Gonzalez. Um, he struggled a lot against Gonzalez.
He
Not the
plays
best
too much.
performance.
He plays too much football. He plays too many games. He's gassed, man.
Yeah, and also when you play so many games, at a certain point, you tend to become macchinoso. I don't know how to say it in English, but you kind of lose your creativity, you lose your edge, and you the performances go down. The fact that he doesn't really have competition on his side either is not so good.
Yeah, competition is good, but on the other side, it's more like it would be nice for him to have someone good on that side, so he can actually have a genuine rest.
Mm.
He can go to that bench. He can sit on that bench and be like, "Fine, the team will win without me. It's completely fine." He doesn't play. He plays every time, and unless he gets a red card or a combined yellow,
Right. Yeah. They,
So
they they've never made an effort to uh to really do something about that. The deputy, like this team, has never really made a serious effort to conceptualize a proper deputy for Theo Hernandez, even under Maldini.
but under Maldini, there was a lot of challenges. First of all, we had like between 2 years of COVID, low revenues, and other positions to cover. There was a lot of challenges. This summer, there was no challenges. This summer, you had a functional team. I have repeated that so many times. You had a good 22 base. You have 22 players, good base, because they finished top four and played the semi-final of Champions League. Whatever people think, that is not an opinion. That is a fact. A team that finished in semi-final of Champions League and top four in Italy without Mike Magnan the entire season is a fucking good team, and is a fact. I don't care about your flavor or your opinion or your taste of football. So that was the perfect summer to have that opportunity to put a guy on Teo Hernandez line. So to have a valuable player. By the way, we saw it today. Parisi played a great game. Parisi would have been,
Parisi was very good. I was really surprised.
and he was
First
out of
time I really paid
position
attention.
on the right back. So
He's a very good player. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that he actually was a skillful player.
he
Like,
is a skillful player because he was on the youth system. He was born. He was a right wing.
mm,
He has quality and
yeah.
he fights a lot. So that was a good chance. He cost what, 9 million? Fuck it. That's where the money should go. Teo Hernandez backup. Right wing is fine. Give me a striker. Give me the two midfielders because you sold Tonali. Whatever. This is the things. Simple market.
Mm.
No
Yeah,
side.
I think even Balotelli, when we had Balotelli, we had better depth coming from the left.
Yeah,
Than what
Balotelli is better than Bartesaghi in some levels.
No, of course. He's older, he's more
But
experienced. He's,
yeah, and I can blame Bartesaghi is unfortunately Bartesaghi does not have that blustering
I
pace.
don't consider the Primavera players depth, Laird.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't consider them depth.
That's
Like
true. That's true.
unless they're supposed to be depth. But the Primavera players that are on the team are there simply because 90% of the squad is was sitting on the stands in their sharps and whatever because we're all injured. Um, but yeah,
Laxalt was a good player, but I think Laxalt was bought during the Fassone Mirabelli, so he had an insane salary. So they
yeah.
had to get rid of him. They're asking me to behave for God's sake. Well, what I've done now? I'm actually being quite nice.
Kratos for life.
I'm being quite nice today. Anyway, what he was saying, yeah, Hernandez, man, and I told you yesterday, Hernandez will have one of his games, one of his typical games that is a bit, uh, cannot be bothered playing.
Mm. I mean, I'm not surprised to see Hernandez have a poor game like this. I do think that Hernandez is the kind of guy that will have. He scored the goal. He got the penalty, first of all. But
Yeah,
aside from that, he did have a poor game, objectively speaking. But he also gives you the impression Hernandez is the kind of player that, yeah, he had a poor game today against Fiorentina, but Wednesday is the big game. And Wednesday, you do have a feeling that he can show up. Like he
oh
will
yeah, he
show up.
will push Wednesday. He had a poor game today. He had like a weak game because in his mind he's thinking, I'm gonna push on Wednesday or
Yeah,
Tuesday, whatever the game.
I
I'm
see
gonna
that.
push.
I see that. Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
like
not
a
I'm gonna be
slingshot.
quiet today.
It's like a slingshot effect.
Yeah.
It kind of feels that way. Even the stadium felt that way. Like there was no the stadium was yeah, I don't know if it wasn't sold out, but it was pretty
Yeah.
packed. But if the energy was pretty low, you didn't have the big fireworks, the big choreografia, the big tifos. It was a quite a low energy stadium, which makes the game even more complicated. But that is all because on Wednesday the stadium is going to be fucking insane, and the energy that is going to come out on Wednesday is going to be insane. So I do see that Milan saved a lot of energy for Wednesday in general. That everybody from the players to the environment, and Pioli did a good job at managing this game.
I agree. Pioli's doing a great job in my opinion. Let's see. I mean, tough man, tough season, and it's getting tougher because Inter is doing well. I hope Inter crumbles. I feel Inter will crumble at one point. It's just they have a lot of good midfielders, so
I don't know, man. I don't have that feeling, but things are unpredictable, so it can happen for sure, or it can't. I have a feeling that they have reached a certain level of maturity that it's very difficult. It makes it very difficult for them to crumble, and they have a very strong core of national Italian players there from the national team. That core there is very dangerous because that core there is basically the mentality. It comes from there, and then you have Martinez who is on a mission. Martinez wants to become one of the best, and you can see everybody that comes in performs well. So I unfortunately I don't see that, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. We'll see.
it will happen. It will happen. We just need to see if Juventus can get that, you know, that killer instinct and you you know get the most out of it. I don't think
But
Juventus has that killer instinct. That's my
but
problem.
but let's say Juventus wins the league. Sorry, no, wins tomorrow. I don't think tomorrow would say anything as far as those two teams.
No, it's too early, but Inter will have those 3 4 games that they'll draw, lose.
Yeah, that's coming for sure. No doubt about that. I'm sure
Those
about
three
that.
four games in a row that they don't collect a lot of points, and that the team that is second should have that killer instinct that go on the top and stay, or at least be there fighting with Inter. If you don't do that, Inter is gonna win the Scudetto for sure, 100%. If Inter has a bad period and is still top of the table, is the end. It's just the end. Not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way I see it. Objectively speaking, I see Inter being ready. I think Inter has a mentality to play any team in Europe. They even if they know they're not better than, let's say, a Man City or Real Madrid, but the mentality is there. The maturity and the mentality and the self awareness of their capabilities. So they don't overdo things. They know what they know. They know how to get the best out of what they have, and they know that they can win any game. For me, it's going to be very difficult, but I hope you're right. I hope that when they will have that moment where they'll lose points, because that always comes, yeah, the teams behind them can take advantage, like Milan or you or well, Milan in particular. But yeah, Juve if it has to be
Let
Juve
me let
or
me
not.
reply to Paul here. Paul, I cannot see your message, man. They're blurred. So if you wanna ask something, just join the live, man.
Well, listen, let me talk about Roma for 1 second, just 2 seconds. First of all, Roma is not too far away from us all of a sudden. So, in the beginning when we were 3 games in, Roma was last, right? And everybody was saying, it's over, it's over. But now all of a sudden, if we take one bad step and they get a good step, they're a touch in distance from us. So the season is still long. Milan is not a super reliable team. I wouldn't now. Okay, I'm not going to say Roma's for me now. Now that I've seen the teams, it seems to me pretty obvious who are the better teams in the league. But Roma is not too far from Milan. If Milan takes a bad step, Roma gets a good step, then we're almost neck and neck.
Yo, 15 years old, Camarda making history.
Yeah, yeah. What did you make out of that? What did you think about that?
Did he touch the ball once or twice?
Yeah, two touches, two
Two touches.
times.
Nothing, man. Great emotions for him, I guess. He didn't look scared. It's a big moment.
Yeah, he was. It must be great for him. Now,
Yeah,
unfortunately, what sucked really is that in the moments where he came in, Milan just was not putting players forward. It was everybody in defense, get the ball, just boot it up, and do the sign of a cross. So like when Camarda came in, Milan wasn't playing football anymore. It was just a defend, defend, defend. So unfortunately, what Camarda's strength is being the guy that connects the last play, and we never saw that happen. We never saw that happen. So we didn't really get to see what he can do, but it was great to see it.
yeah. And on TV, he looks taller than I thought. So
Yeah, yeah, he's a big guy. You can see he's still very skinny, but he's
it
big.
looks bigger than a 15 years old for sure. It
Oh
looks to me, if I see him in the pitch running and doing, it looks to me like a 17, 18 years old.
yeah. Hmm.
So the guy is in a good shape. Still early to play in Serie A for me. Of course, he can have a few appearances like this, or when you need it. But good. By the way, we didn't talk yesterday, but maybe we'll talk after the post this analysis. You saw the what Sarri said about Italian football. Was on social media. I saw just a
No,
few
what did he say?
written things. Well, he said that the only football that is remained traditional is the English football, the Premier League. They do the FA Cup in Wembley, and there's full stadium. Everyone is watching on TV. In Italy, we do the Coppa Italia final in Saudi Arabia with no one in the stadium. We are sold out we sold our soul to audiences that like to watch highlights on YouTube. They don't really care about football.
That's amazing.
And he's like, we should be big teams should play the Coppa Italia from the beginning of the season against third division teams, like in England they do the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. They play against other division teams. I mean, I went and watched Chelsea play against a third division Wembley uh, team. Which and other things that I don't remember. It was like the we should bring passion in the stadiums and create a better product around the stadium and the pitch, and the money from TV will come later, because that's what the English did. They created a great environment around the stadium and the game that now is the best product, and they can sell it everywhere in the world, and they keep those traditional values, and they don't sell those games, or they go and play these games on away.
Yeah, no, for sure. And listen, a Coppa Italia in Italy is going to be packed. It's going to be crazy. Are you kidding me? A final? It's always
uh,
been like that.
the Super Cup, we played it in Saudi Arabia. I mean, that was a derby. That derby should have been played in Milan, not in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, yeah,
you,
for
you
sure.
know you know it's a Super Coppa Italia, um, against
It,
Milan, against Inter, already, because that's
yeah,
what happened.
a game like that in Italy would be fucking nuts. It'd
Fire,
be crazy.
nice
The
final.
stadium would be insane. But instead, we saw a half-empty stadium
Casual
and
supporters.
casual supporters, a few Milan supporters that were really into it, a little bit more Inter supporters that were into it. But overall, the atmosphere of the stadium was very poor. It's just a money grab, and it's one of the reasons why the Coppa Italia to me means nothing. It's a Mickey Mouse Cup. Like Asadi is right. It's Italy it's the Liga, la Lega, that makes that cup a Mickey Mouse Cup. I agree with everything that Sati said there.
Yeah, he was kind of using extreme examples, of course, to bring a point. But Sari is another guy that says, I've seen coaches on the youth level with the suit, no, instead of the tracksuit. So it's like people take too seriously themselves in Italy,
I used to do that with a U6.
with the suit.
I show up with a suit with a
Oh,
U6.
you classic American.
I'm joking. I'm joking. That'd be crazy. That'd be insane.
I mean, you can do it. It's not a crime. It's just it will look weird, Your players will look at you weirdly, probably.
No, no, no. Nobody does that in youth football. That yeah, that young, nobody does it.
Yeah. Anyway, I agree with Sarri. I think Italy should go back to the basics, sell the product in a more authentic way, without trying too hard with social media and bullshit like that. They should do more. People confuse social media with actual quality product. At the end of the day, these people on social media, they don't spend money. They are just literally all day on Twitter and Instagram. They don't go to the stadium. They don't buy the TV subscription to watch the game. Majority of them are really literally casual supporters.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, for sure. Especially Italian football right now, because Libyan here is bringing up. It was the time. It was a time in the next. They had El Clasico. I think the El Clasico was actually before, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was before Milan Inter. But El Clasico, I thought the stadium was pretty energetic. Like it's obvious that Real Madrid, especially Real Madrid, has a huge fan base everywhere. And Real Madrid, even when we see a Real Madrid in America, the stadium is crazy for Real Madrid. So there are teams that maybe can pull it off, but Italian football, no, not right now. You
And I
have
want to say, something. Spanish football has never been about the atmosphere. It's always been about the quality of the football, the possession, everything. But English football and Italian football is all about the stadiums, the fans, the supporters, the atmosphere, the fight, the tension between the clubs, the rivalry between the clubs. So it will look weird to go and play it outside of of these countries, when you understand the fans are so passionate and they create such a great vibe in the stadium. It wouldn't make any sense. Real Madrid, Barcelona, you can play it even on another planet. Will be fine.
Right, right.
The game will be the same. It's not gonna change, you know.
Yeah, no, I think you have to cater to what is in front of you, and yeah, I agree. Milan, if like a Supercoppa final, Milan Inter has to be played in Italy. Like, okay, let's say you don't want to do it at the San Siro, which you should.
San Siro is perfect. You make a full. You sell the ticket expensive. Everyone goes. You make it on a weekend.
Yeah, listen, and it becomes a spectacle because
Yeah,
the choreographies of both teams are going to be out of this world. The preparation, the city, like you're going to have people travel from all over the world to see those kind of cultural phenomena in sports, like a final between Milan and Inter at the San Siro. Like that's what you need to sell. That's what you need to sell, the whole package, not just the two teams.
yeah. It would have been cool, by the way. And the players understand that actually I need to win this game. This is an important game.
Yeah, yeah. No, interesting. I'll look into what Sari said. Yeah. Um. So, anything else about the game that you thought was interesting enough to bring up? Any other performances that stood out?
No, I like the fact that he subbed Pulisic quite early and put Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That
Hmm.
means he has clear ideas that he needs Pulisic against Dortmund. Well, funny enough, he didn't substitute Chukwueze, so that means he's not gonna play Chukwueze against Dortmund. I think he will have like a interesting formation against Dortmund.
Really? But who's available if not Chukwueze?
Probably he can play Musa probably on the right
Hmm.
or Florenzi.
That'd be very interesting if he does that. That'd be very interesting if he does
He
that.
will, he will play a defensive player on that right side because I think he will go against Dortmund. He will go with Ruben as a number 10. So he will go with more offensive team. We'll have the double pivot, probably Krunic and how's it called? Reinders. He will have Musa on the right, Ruben as a 10, and Pulisic as a left wing. That's what he's going to. So Musa will come back, get in, and become the third midfielder in the middle. What Selemakers used to do.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't know if he's going to do that. We'll see. We'll see. Um, I find it difficult that he would do that because I haven't seen him do that so far. That's what he used to do when we had salad makers. Um, my feeling is going to play the same formation up top today, but the midfield is going to be different. It's going to be Loftus, Krunic, and Reindeers. I think that's what he's going to do. That's my opinion because there's no Okafor is not available. Giroud is not. Giroud is available. Giroud is available for this game, so that changes things. But Jovic, so it's Pulisic, Giroud, Jovic, and Okafor that he has available for the Wednesday game.
Yeah,
Leao is
but
not available, and Okafor is not available.
he will play Pulisic, Ruben, Giroud, and Musa. That will be the front four. Double pivot Krunic and Reinders. Defense Theo, Tomori, Chao, and Calabria. And I guess Mike Magnan. That's it. That's my
Oh,
guess.
I'll be surprised if he does that, but yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Because if he's thinking to play Chukwueze, he would have changed Chukwueze at one point and put Romero, even the last 10 minutes.
I was thinking. My idea was he's playing him to get him match fitness and minutes because he hasn't got much match fitness and many minutes. That's why I thought he played him the whole time because I just don't see him not play Chukwueze on Wednesday. But maybe you're right. Like I don't know. It is maybe you're right. We'll
I
see.
wouldn't play Chukwueze in such a big game.
Why not?
because it doesn't give you anything. That doesn't give you defensive output. Offensively output is quite mediocre.
Now, if you don't play Chukwueze on Wednesday, it's pretty much what's the word? Bocciatura. It's in
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I would say it's not a bocciatura. It's more like because he will play Chukwueze a lot other times this season. I'm sure about that. But yeah, he's a signal that he doesn't trust Chukwueze on big games. He doesn't trust him on and Chukwueze tactically as well is a one-dimensional player. Honestly.
Mhm. You know what, Light? I think if we would have kept Brahim Diaz,
Oh
uh,
man, don't even start with that.
if we would have kept, well, we should have kept Brahim Diaz, Tonali, and Salamakers. I think that trio had a lot of heart. Was very solid. Was very smart. And Brahim Diaz is way better than Chukwueze.
Oh yeah.
Way better. Way better. It's a little bit of a shame. But anyway, whatever. Um, Italian Super Cup 2002, I think in Tripoli had the attendance of 80,000. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, but
Tripoli, well, I think because in Tripoli you have a strong Italian connection too, right? And I think in Tripoli is Libya, right? I
yeah,
think
yeah. Used to be
so.
controlled by Italy.
Well, it used to be a long time ago, but I think they watch. I think there probably is a good place to do a final of.
Yeah, but it's not about the people, man. You can put 80,000 people. You need to see the engagement and how involved they are. And and by the way, still, man, San Siro is the top three stadiums in the planet. And if it's Milan and Inter playing, it's top one in the planet. So Tripoli can put out 200,000 people. It's not gonna get that atmosphere. San Siro is a stadium. I think Caressa did tier about the best stadiums in the world, no? Because he's been in all of them. He's been at Maracana. He's been in Berlin for the World Cup final. He's done at least 4 World Cup finals as a commentator, and he puts San Siro at the top with the Maracana, Wembley, and everyone else. So, and he has watched the derby Milan Inter in Champions League at San Siro, those big ones, and he says San Siro is the top stadium, top atmosphere. That is, it gets scary for games like this. So I don't see it. The people needs to. They are trying so hard, man. They're trying so hard.
Yeah. Anyway, listen. Sticking to the game. Any other performances? I thought Musa did an okay. He had an okay game. Good work rate. Uh, Pobega, I thought his work rate was good. Some quality issues here and there. Reindeers, I thought was okay. Honestly, yeah, I don't think if I you ask actually this if you ask me who was the best player of the match today, for me it had to be Terracciano because he actually had some crazy saves. So Milan did actually have some good opportunities, to be honest with you, to
True.
close this game because Pulisic had a very good. He set himself up very well, but his shooting was poor. Like if you look at that shot, you look at that shot and you're like, wow, that was a great shot. But that was not a good shot, actually. Reason is because you're there, you have all that space. You don't put it in the middle. You put that shit next to the post. You have the angle, you have the time, and he didn't think about that. He went too much on instinct rather than seeing what was available in front of him because he did have the space and time to do it. But anyway, it was a great shot nonetheless in the center, and Terracciano had a great save. Terracciano had a great save against Jovic, and he had some other really good saves. But other than that, like I don't think I saw anything special from anybody tonight.
Yeah, yeah, it was. You know what? Our expectations were so low. If anyone watched the live yesterday, they will know that mine and your expectation was extremely low for this game. So the way we're saying, "Oh, these guys had a good game," is really relative. Because if I was not a Milan fan, I was just a neutral. I think our players had a shit game. Nathan was telling that on the WhatsApp. Our players had a shit game, man. That was a fucking.
I think shit is a little bit too much.
He was shit. Quality wise, of course, they gave everything. They fight and but quality wise, if we talk about mere just quality football, it was completely shit. It was amateur level.
Well, okay, but the thing, okay, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. The thing is, like, quality. If you expect more out of the like,
No, no,
you shouldn't expect more
I'm
from.
not. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, even a neutral, no one, a guy that doesn't know Milan, like a Real Madrid fan today, goes on his sofa and say, let's see what's going on in Serie A, AC
Okay,
Milan,
sure,
big
yeah.
club. They
So,
spend a lot of money this summer. Turns on the TV. He doesn't have the expectation that I have because we watch the games and the team every day. He will be
I
like,
see
"What
what you're
the
saying.
fuck is this? Are we actually serious here?"
But at the same time, okay, sure, that perspective there, I don't think anybody can really disagree with that.
That's it.
But at the same time, Fiorentina was in a similar boat too, I would say, because if you look at it from the perspective of a Fiorentina fan, you're pretty angry because because Fiorentina had a lot of chances to score too. I thought the Mike Magnan thing save there was incredible. That save was so clutch that it's not even a Fiorentina chance at that point. That is just one of those amazing moments, like
Yeah,
that. There, Magnan is world class. Right, that moment, that split second, is why Magnan is considered the best in the world, just or one of the best because of that fucking split second right there. So moments are so important in football, and yeah. So what did you think of Fiorentina, quality wise? What did you see from them?
they had a good game. They had a good game. I think they did a good game, quite solid. Of course, they considered those clear chances against us, and they had some clear chances as well. So it's a good team. Fiorentina is a good team. There is a reason why they before this game they were just 3 points behind us. They will stay there. I think they will finish top six in my opinion this season. I think
Yeah, yeah.
I put them top six on my prediction. So
I have.
I'm not
Let me
wrong.
check the predictions, but let me say something. Another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because we are 6 points clear of them right now. That's a really
Yeah,
nice gap. That's a really nice gap from Fiorentina. So yeah, today this win honestly was freaking great. This win deserves much more energy than it got. In general, this I'm talking about the stadium essentially. But this win was a very big win, especially this game day with all these other games that are interacting with each other. So Napoli, for example, they beat Atalanta today. Big
yeah,
win for Napoli, and they leapfrogged us for a while. So
yeah. And just to reiterate what you said about the big win, we have 6 points more than Atalanta, that is fifth. So that means that on the next, let me do the maths, a quick maths, 25 games, because 25 games in the season finished. In the next 25 games, we can lose twice, two times more than Atalanta and go and finish top four.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's a big advantage in
yeah.
25 games.
The points today mattered. The points today mattered
Big.
for a lot for many teams, not just us, for many teams, and they still have to matter for some other teams.
Fun fact, Roy.
What?
A year ago, when the team was worst, we had when Christmas comes in, we had 11 wins, and we were second, not too far from Napoli, something like that. So just to say, now we have 8 wins. So if I think of the games we are having, we need to win at least. What's going on here? Just want to see the next games we're having. So we need to win against Atalanta for sure.
Yeah, that's a big one, and that's coming up.
Frosinone, Atalanta. These needs to be won, both of them. That's it, and you are basically almost done with top four. You can just have an okay season, normal season. You will finish top four if you
Yeah,
beat these two.
but now you got, like I was saying earlier. If you go back to the table, right?
Yeah, 1 second.
There, there is the Roma situation, because if Roma wins tomorrow, they go to 21, okay, and they're 5 points behind us. Let's say we lose one and they win one, then they are 1 point behind us, and then the pressure starts to add up. So tomorrow, if Roma loses tomorrow, then it's a huge result for them, because they're probably at that point close to being out from the top four. But if they win tomorrow, they can swing back hard and have their say in top four.
Roma Udinese is gonna be a tough game for them, but yeah, they can win against Udinese. You're right. You're right. Roma is the direct problem for us. It's 5 points. Well, yeah, Frosinone, Atalanta, if we win that. But the only thing I want to say, if we to match uh, the previous season in terms of wins, we need to win 3 more games. Frosinone, Atalanta, and Monza. 3 more games out of 4 to match the performance of a year ago.
I think it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
We'll see.
Three
We'll see.
wins out of 4. Why not?
I think Leao should be coming back for. I don't know when Leao's coming back, honestly,
Yeah, you say in 3 games, so he is coming back for Atalanta game.
for the Atalanta game. Wow, damn, that's a long. That's a lot. Borussia Dortmund for Frosinone, then Leao.
I mean, even if he comes back for Frosinone, I wouldn't play him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Frosinone, and also Frosinone is at the San Siro, another game that you have to win. You have to win the Frosinone game.
Yeah, win Dortmund, win Frosinone, win Atalanta, draw Newcastle. Maybe you can draw Monza as well. Win Salernitana. That's that's a great run. You go through to Champions League and you kind of secure the top four. You're in a good position for the top four run.
Yeah. Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. We got the Juve Fiorentina, Roma Udinese. Sorry, Juve Inter. Yes, Juve Inter and Roma Udinese. Both these games are very important to us. Now, very interesting fact. But I saw the other day, or someone said the other day. I think it's been almost since the conception of the stadium, Alliance Stadium. Inter's only won 2 games there in Serie A. So that's over a decade. So odds are that Inter tomorrow is not winning. Or does it mean that they are winning? I don't know.
Is tomorrow Inter Juventus the game?
Juve Inter.
Juve Inter. For us, to be honest, it doesn't matter what happened tomorrow. It's still
Well,
too early. It's still too
well,
early. Of
well.
course, you want to draw. The draw will be the best for us.
Things don't change. That's the thing, right? Like if whoever wins tomorrow, things don't change. Things would have changed only if we would have lost today, and the fact that we won today will keep things the same. If Juve wins, the table will become smaller. If Inter wins, the table will be exactly the same as it was, at least in the top three, as it was the game day before. So things stay the same. If they both tie, which is probably the best result, we kind of catch up. We get a few points from both of them. So maybe the tie is our best result.
Yeah, or Juventus. If you consider Juventus being weaker than Inter, you want Juventus to stop Inter
Yeah,
because you know you can
you can get
you
Juve.
can see, yeah, you can get back the points against Juventus. But it will be 5 points. Say if Inter loses tomorrow, we go what 5 points from Inter, which is manageable. Manageable.
Yeah, it is.
You can win the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are still open essentially.
Yeah.
But if Inter wins tomorrow, that's a big advantage we're gonna have.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a big
it's
advantage we're gonna have.
yeah. I mean,
And Laird, this is what I was scared of. If we would have lost today and Inter would have won tomorrow, I would have almost been ready to call it game over.
yeah,
Almost,
yeah. I mean,
almost,
it's so
almost.
early, but
It is early,
makes
but this
sense. Yeah.
is we're starting to enter that point where things are starting to matter. But yeah, it is still early, but we just entered the deep end. We just started to put our feet in the deep end.
I'll be honest to you, man. If we get out of the Champions League, we have a chance to win the league, man. That's what we need. We need to get out of the Champions League. That's the reality. But we're not gonna do it. We're gonna fight because Jerry wants that money. That money, we need that money.
Hey, let me ask you something. So something you even mentioned him earlier, but so now this is a fantasy world or not? I don't know. Franco Ordine had this thing. He was saying that, according to him, if Pioli doesn't go through on Wednesday, he will be sacked. And something happened today, which is big. Another very big thing. Lazio is out of top four because Lazio today lost a huge game against Salernitana. Salernitana beat Lazio. So Lazio has been set back a lot, which makes me want to think hey, maybe they will fire Sarri. Now, if Sarri is open light, what do you think about Sarri um, taking the team midway through the season or next summer?
Next summer, yes.
You
I'll
wouldn't
get
mind Sarri.
I'll get started next summer.
Why is that? Why would you like Sarri? Like
He's a
why
good
if he was available?
he's a good coach. He's a good coach, and he speaks English, so everyone will be happy finally. The fact that we will have a coach that speaks English, um, and Jerry Cardinali can talk football finally with someone. Uh, yeah, and he plays well. He plays great football. When he has a good team, he plays great football. The problem is we don't. I don't know. Are we gonna give him a great team?
I honestly don't know.
So that's the thing. It depends on our intention. Is he too old? Not progressive enough? Maybe. Is he too expensive? I don't know his salaries. Is he too? His personality can be a bit uncomfortable for the management.
Yeah, he definitely has way more personality than Pioli. He's definitely more of a combative individual. While Pioli is more of a pacifist. Sarri is more combative.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I say yes. Yeah, next summer, yes. Not now. Next summer, yes.
Okay, so no, yeah, I think he'll be a bad, but so next summer you would, yeah. Now it is true he plays good football. He plays offensive football. He likes to put teams that play football. Essentially, he doesn't like to sit back and defend. So that's good. It's good for the show, and he also gives teams good mentality. Good mentality. He did really well in Italy with Napoli. He did really well in England. He's definitely one of the better coaches. in Italy, I think Sarri would be a good option
Yeah.
after Pioli.
Napoli won with Mazzarri, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. First game, Mazzarri comes in and they win. Big game too against Atalanta. Not easy. Mazzarri didn't change any of the tactics. He kept them the same as they previously were.
When Mazzarri was Napoli's coach, at least the first 2 years, he was playing really well.
Yeah, yeah. No, he was. That is true. He was playing the three at the back, but his teams did play football. It was still defensive, but they played football.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see what he does. Well, the Garcia didn't work. Non-Italian coaches struggle in Italy, weirdly enough.
Garcia, would you take Garcia?
No,
I wouldn't take Garcia ever.
no chance, man. The dude has been coaching in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, I don't know where, for the last 2, 3 years.
But even before that, I never really thought anything special of him.
Before there
Uh,
was a potential, at least. If you
what do you think about Gasperini? I don't know if is Gasperini going to stay forever at Atalanta. Would you take Gasperini if he was free this summer?
yo, no, I wouldn't take Gasperini. But Gasperini got a percentage of the players that that Atalanta sells. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he does business with Atalanta. So it's
He's
more.
very clever, and I guess this is why Gasperini has the in his program, in his football program, is make youngsters be better, so they can get sold, and he makes money out of it.
Yeah, he gets a percentage. He gets like a really high percentage. And I heard some agents that were saying that Gasperini makes at the end of the year. Sometimes he's the coach that made more money because
Yeah,
the percentage he makes with the players they sell.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
Holland, they sold Holland for 70 million,
Yeah, he
and
got a
Gasperini
percentage.
probably made a 5% of it. So he made 3.5 million just
Yeah,
in that transfer. So I don't think he's gonna leave Atalanta. He's like quite involved with the club in general. So
yeah, 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 yeah. But I would take him. I really like the way he plays football. I would definitely take him. I think there are a few coaches, but like Inzaghi obviously would be a coach. But if he were available at this point, would you say no to Inzaghi? Like, obviously, why would you say? If you do say no to, I'm curious to know why.
I will say no to Gasperini because I think Gasperini will be like Gianpaolo, great for a small, club or mid table club, but not good enough for Milan.
But what do you make out of his performances in Europe, which have been really good?
It's
And
still
you,
he did those performances with Atalanta, not with Milan. So it's not about the competition; it's about the environment around him. He's going to go inside Milanello and he has to listen to other people. At Atalanta, he is a dictator. Every decision that he makes, everyone needs to follow and shut up. At Milanello, you have to listen a lot of other people. You need to be more um, able to understand and take feedbacks on board and put your ego aside. You cannot fight with players the way you used to fight with Atalanta. It's
okay,
different. It's a different environment. Inzaghi, nah, I'm not a big fan of Inzaghi. I'll be honest. At the end of the day, the guy is a massive loser. He's lost a lot of Serie A runs and things like that. So he wins, of course, he wins those small cups, and he's a cup coach, so he's good at doing those head-to-head games.
the sprint games, yeah.
Yeah, the sprint games. So he's good at that, but the rest is a bit like. And I don't like his personality. He's such a boring and weird person. Complains about the referees. Complains
Okay,
about everything.
so you would say no to him. What about Allegri? No,
Allegri.
Because Allegri might be available, right? Allegri actually, guys, Allegri might actually be available, guys, because Allegri is soon. His contract is expiring soon, and there is a slight chance that he might be available in a period in which we need to get a coach. So if that does come to, yeah, what would you do? What would you say?
It's weird. I don't know if Allegri plays football in this way because he does not have the players, so he just don't trust the players he has. So that's why he plays the football he's playing, or it's just because he really believes in this football. So I don't know. But if he really believes in this football, of course I wouldn't take Allegri. No chance. I wouldn't take Allegri in general because our model, our business model as well, needs a different coach, not an Allegri coach.
Okay. All right. So by the way, I didn't say what about Inzaghi. I would take Inzaghi, but he wouldn't be one of my first choices. Allegri, Allegri, I think no. I would say no. Like, so what about Mancini? Because Mancini also, he's a coach in Saudi Arabia. It's a crazy contract, but he's not getting any results. And that after a while, coaches get fired if they don't get any results. So he might be available this summer, maybe. Do you think Mancini would be a guy you'd say yes to?
Um, mm, no, no, not anymore. No, because it's been too long in the national team job, and it's a different job from a everyday coach job. And he has a age now that his football has kind of stopped evolving. So I wouldn't take Mancini as well.
Damn, man, you're saying no to everybody. Mancini for me, yes, I would take Mancini. I like Mancini. Okay, what about Spalletti? Spalletti after the World Cup, after the Euro, maybe he might be free. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, I will take Spalletti. Spalletti for sure
Okay, so Spalletti is one of the ones that you take, and why is that?
because he's a guarantee Serie A coach. So Spalletti with a decent team and a good team, okay team, you can name it, he will finish top four. He will finish top four 100%. And if you bring him talent, if you bring him young players, he will play them. He will play them well in the right way. He will coach them and prepare them mentally as well. He's a tough cookie as well. It's not easy to deal with.
Okay, so big yes to Spalletti, huh?
Yeah,
Seems
yeah,
to.
he puts discipline in the dressing room. So players respect him wherever he goes.
Yeah, I agree. I like Spalletti a lot. I think Spalletti should one day coach Milan because I think even Spalletti's idea of football aligns with Milan. Basically, Spalletti believes that football is a game that you need to be positive, you need to play, you need to show. It's about talent for him. So that marries itself really well with Milan and how we like to see
I'll tell
football.
you something though, Roy. I don't think a person like Spalletti will go to Milan because I think Spalletti has a strong. Um, I know people have seen Spalletti get on a fight with Maldini, but I think Spalletti respects Maldini a lot, and Spalletti will not work for people that fired Maldini.
I
Like
mean, I don't know. I don't know. In a
I
few,
really believe in that. I really believe Spalletti will be like, no, I'm not joining that club for that type of ownership. Really believe in that. Spalletti he's been in the Italian football for long. He has a lot of knowledge and he kind of values a lot, these type of things. That's why he
uh,
left Napoli because they told me he said they told me with an email that they would like me to keep me. I was like, I'm going. You should not treat me like this.
yeah. Listen, I hope one day he coaches Milan because I'm curious to see that. Um, De Zerbi, Orlando Sosa, Marco Rossi. I don't know who that is. Libyan Samurai. I'm not sure who that is. Who is
That
Marco?
sounds everyone can be Marco Rossi in Italy.
That's like 2 million people in Italy are probably called Marco Rossi. Who is Marco Rossi?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's the anyone can be Marco Rossi.
Okay, so obviously the big one is De Zerbi, in Brighton.
Everyone
I
is saying the best time to get the derby. I don't think it's the best time to get the derby.
Why not?
The derby is how old is it? Let me check. He's 44
He,
years old, man.
he's young. He's I mean, De Zerbi is a guy that started not too long ago. But listen, like,
Started really early because I think his football career was it never went through the roof. So he quit pretty early and started straight away as a coach. Now, I think the best moment to get the derby is in 6 7 years time when he's at the top of his level.
mm,
That's when you get the derby. I hope Milan in
don't know
six
about
seven
that.
years time is at the top in terms of money, prestige, an owner that is ambitious. The derby has his two or one big experience on a big club. You call him, you tell him, you promise him a talented and big squad, money to invest. He will come to Italy. He will come to his boyhood club
Well,
and win
look,
Milan.
I mean, I think there is value in when you have young coaches that are starting, that showing talent, and they are hungry, like giving them the platform to express that desire to win and be the launching pad for coaches. I think is also a good thing. I think if Milan can do that for De Zerbi, I would do it.
I think Milan. So Ancelotti was an extremely talented coach. He was doing really well at
Yeah,
Parma, and
and he
Juventus
was
get
new, and he was fairly new
yeah, no, no, no.
when
But Juventus gets him, and he does 2 or 3 seasons with Juventus, and he fails on results, of course.
barely.
When he comes at Milan, that is the right moment to get him because he's still young, of course. Not because a 50 years old coach is still young. Um, plus he was younger than 50 years old, I guess, at that time. But what I will say that was the right moment because he had a big experience with Juventus, a big club. So he was ready to get a second job, a second big job, because he did relatively well with Juventus, almost won the title twice.
Well, look, you have to say when Ancelotti finished with Juve, obviously he had achieved more than what De Zerbi has achieved so far.
Exactly.
Obviously, that is true. But that would mean, Lart, that okay, yeah. So that is something long term. But what about short term? You wouldn't want him short term,
Who?
De Zerbi. Like if the opportunity arose itself to get De Zerbi this summer, let's say something crazy happens and De Zerbi is available, would you not get him?
It's hard to answer this question because if the derby is available and you offer him money and he says yes, yeah, go for it, do it. Uh, we will we will be how can I say unbalanced squad anyway. We will not be the squad that people think because at the end of the day, who goes in the pitch is the players. The Zerbi is gonna coach these players and they will overperform, of course, but these players overperforming
But
doesn't
what did
mean
you say that about any coach, though?
no, because other coach will be more pragmatic. They will understand that these players have their limitation, so will play a different football, a bit more pragmatic. They will
So
try
you
to
you think De Zerbi wouldn't have the ability to do
no. The
this?
Zerbi will be brave and he will play, exciting and innovative football. But that means that you will lose some games 3-1, win some 4-1, lose another one 3-2. That's what happened when
Mm.
you get a coach like the Zerbi and you don't have a good team.
De Zerbi is good with young talent. De Zerbi is not a big player coach. Well, I don't know. Look, um, I don't really agree with even earlier when you said Gasperini can't perform with big teams. I want to see that. I know he had that moment with Inter that didn't work out well, but I would like to see Gasperini now in a big team with what he has learned, in the past experience. Like De Zerbi, when you say he's not a big player coach, well, he has to start. He has to coach a team with big players, and then we'll find out. I
I
think we'll
think
find
he's
out.
a big player coach, but we don't have big players, guys. So don't worry about that issue.
Mm. Okay,
Forget about
listen,
that issue.
listen. The way I look at it this way, for me, the coaches, if everybody was available and this was a video game and I had to make my choice, I think the number one guy I would choose is Spalletti. That would be my number one choice. Number two would be Sarri. Number three would be Mancini. Number four would be Gasperini. Number five would be De Zerbi. And then after that, I would go to the defensive player, the defensive ones, Inzaghi, Allegri, etc., etc. So he's bottom. He's not like in a front of the list for me. If you were to do that, Larry, how would you?
Oh, if you want a list,
Yeah.
I can put you, of course, Spalletti top of the list. Um, Sarri, De Zerbi, Paladino, um, Motta.
Thiago Motta. That's a good call. He's doing really well. That's
I
a
mean, I would
really
put
good call.
Motta even higher than Paladino, but you understand the vibe,
Yeah, yeah.
a coach that is doing really well in Italy, and he just started. I think Motta started what 5, 6 years ago,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and he's been in Serie A achieving his objective every fucking year. I think he never got relegated. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no, no.
And
He's always
now,
he's always grown. He's always got him better teams. He's always grown.
yes, and now that Bologna, the team invested some money and bought him some, depth as well. He's performing well. He's playing great football. So
Yeah, I
Motta
think
will be a great coach.
I think we'll see Motta fight for top four with one of the bigger teams soon. It could be Milan, could be another team.
You don't be surprised if Motta signs for Inter next summer because I'm sure he's a friend with Zanetti. They play
Yeah,
together.
yeah, for sure. I see
And
the
Inzaghi looks like at one point they're gonna get rid of him.
and he seems to be the kind of coach that Inter would get too.
Yeah,
So I see that happening. Yeah, a good shout out from Edison. What about Italiano? We didn't talk about Italiano. Where do you put
he's a
Italiano?
good coach. He's a good coach. He's not better than the Zerbi and Motta in my opinion, or Paladino. He's at that level. I think the Zerbi is a superior level because the Zerbi is coached Sassuolo, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Brighton, so he has an international experience. He's played
Yeah.
different leagues. Um, I think the Zerbi has coached in Spain as well, or played in Spain. I don't know. So the Zerbi is a bit higher on them, but Motta, Italiano, Paladino, they are there. They are good coaches. I wouldn't be like, oh shit, why we signed one of these three coaches next summer. I'll be okay with that. But of course, Spalletti and Sarri will be better.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I have another question. This is very interesting. In this table, where do you put Pioli?
I put Pioli at the same level of Spalletti and Sarri. The only thing is that Pioli's been with this group of players for 4 years now. So the the level of engagement with his players is a different level now. There is a lot of complacement. There is a lot of trust. Uh, there is relationships that they cannot be broken now. So he is a bit like worried to talk to players in a certain way.
Compromised. Essentially, his job is compromised.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
basically,
to speak.
yeah, at one point, even Saki, after 3, 4 years at Milan, had to leave because the relationship with players were not the same, and they needed the fresh blood, Capello.
Right.
That doesn't mean that Saki is not a good coach or as good as Capello. It's just things needs to change, you know. So
Saki
I think,
knew. Saki knew, and that's why Saki stopped. It's not Saki was not fired, by the way. Saki resigned.
yeah, yeah,
He knew that the relationships were gone. His time was done. It's time to move on.
exactly. So Pioli is at the level, in my opinion, of Spalletti and Sarri and all the boys, the big boys in Serie A.
Okay, for me, I have a really good follow up question for that. For me, he's not at the level of Spalletti and Sarri. I put him below Spalletti and Sarri. I think I put him below Mancini as well. But my question is this: before Milan, where would have you put him on the table before
I'll
his
put him at the
experience?
same level of these guys, Italiano, Motta.
So his experience at Milan is what has elevated him. You
Yeah,
say?
because he did massive things at Milan. I know people don't want to admit that, but he achieved top four 3 times in a row.
Mm.
He won the league. He played the semi-final of Champions League, and in all these periods, most of the time he had really teams that he never chose. The first season when he finished top four, that team was not a team he picked. It was not built for him. He had
Right.
to do the best of the players he already had, so Milan could sell them or get the most out of them. He lost two major pieces, Donnarumma and Akan, and still reinvented himself and the team to go and win the title. He has a big play. He plays a big part on the development of Teo Hernandez, Tonali, Benacer, Kessi, the development of Calabria, Tomori, Kalulu, Chao, development of Leao, and all the other players, Selemakers, Diaz, uh, Krunic. Do you remember Krunic 4 years ago? I mean, are we serious about that? So he played a big part. Kier was a random, uh, a player that was not even playing at Sevilla. We got him for 1 million, and that is he reevaluated some players.
Okay, so you put it that level there. Now, one more question, then I wanna move on to foreign coaches. Uh, do you think Pioli can repeat what he did at Milan in other teams? Like, if you go to another team, can he be a big coach and perform in the Champions League, fight for titles?
Okay. For me, Pioli, when he leaves Milan, he will go in a team. He can. There is a chance that he can go and coach Juventus, Roma, or Lazio. Lazio, I think he's done it already. He can. There is a chance he can coach Juventus, Roma, or Inter again. I don't think Inter will happen, but Juventus and Roma, there is a chance he can go and coach those teams, or Napoli as well. I see Pioli being on the conversation of Juventus, Napoli, or Roma when
Yeah.
he leaves Milan.
Okay. And what about now moving on to the foreign? What about Pioli in foreign teams like Spain or England or Germany? Could he coach one of the big teams there? Do you think?
Uh no, he doesn't know English, so yeah, he can coach. He can coach in terms of knowledge of football. He can definitely coach everywhere on the major leagues in Europe. Honestly, by the way, he's a big fan of the Premier League. He studies a lot the Premier League and how teams play there. So
Mm,
he follows a lot European football. So the problem is he doesn't know English. So I don't know how quick he will adapt, learn English on a level that can help him to be effective. Because I think Pioli has a quality that is the human level. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think he's a really good person, and players fight for him and gives everything for him.
there's a certain zen about him.
So
Uh,
if he cannot pass that through the language, through the words, he kind
yeah.
of becomes
Okay. Okay.
limited as
So
a
then
coach.
let's talk about the football because I really want to talk about foreign coaches. let's talk about the football ball. Like we saw that in England, Ranieri can go to England and win a
Oh yeah.
freaking league. So, um, tactically, do you think if he can go to England and bring his tactics and his vision of football, would he be successful there?
If Pioli takes Chelsea, he finished top four straight away. Chelsea lost today 4-1 against Newcastle. Chelsea is a joke of a team right now.
Do you think they can win the league with Chelsea? Can he win the league with Chelsea with the
Second
team?
year, maybe after the first year that he finished top four,
Okay,
he can
okay,
win.
all right.
He can start to challenge. I think Pioli can build something in
Okay,
Premier League.
so you do think that Pioli can go to the Premier League and win it?
Yeah, I think if he can go and win it, if he, of course, he's coaching a team that has the finances to, putting players and building a team that he likes the way he wants to play.
All right.
Which most of the top six, top seven in England have the money to go and challenge.
Mm. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no. What I like about this conversation is that Pioli has definitely elevated himself because he never used to be in these kind of conversations. Like it would have been impossible before the Milan experience. Now, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what he does after. I'm very
One
curious.
thing, one thing I think Pioli has that is interesting. I realized on his 4 years at Milan, and no one can deny this. Every time there was a moment that we said, okay, we need to win this game or it's going to be a disaster, Pioli managed to win that game.
He has
So
a lot
you,
of games, yeah, like that. A lot.
so you
Not
remember
all.
the game against Juventus when we won 3-0,
Yeah, yeah.
and we were fighting with Juventus for the top four now?
Right.
We
And he
went and won that game against Atalanta, the last game of the season. We went and won that game.
yeah.
The derby that we
Today also.
won today also.
Today was a great man management from Pioli. You cannot. You know what? Let's give Pioli a little bit of credit. He was the man of the match today because with the material he had, his man management was perfect. The preparation, yeah, okay, a little bit lucky some moments, but yeah. Okay, listen, Larry. What about foreign coaches? Who do you see? Because now with this management, we know that it is most likely what's going to happen. Graham Potter. Who is Graham Potter, Larry? You come from his land, or you live in his land. Tell us about Graham Potter. Would he be good for Milan?
No, he should coach in. I mean, he's coached outside England. He's coached in North Europe. I think Sweden or Norway. I don't remember. Uh, oh, Bielsa. Yeah, this is a good shout. I don't think Graham Potter will be a good fit, to be honest.
But we're linked to him. I don't know why we're linked to him, but we are linked to him. Now, you would think that'd be a bad choice, yeah?
I think it would be a bad choice, honestly. But
Mm, okay. Bielsa is an interesting one. Bielsa is an extremely good coach. He's really good. Um, Wait, Bielsa is the coach that coached Chile, right? The one that won with Chile the Copa Americas. Am I
I think so. He
okay?
coached Leeds recently. He coached Marseille as well before Leeds. That's a good shout, by the way. Pioli will be good for United. Yeah, that's true. To be fair, Pioli will be good for any how's it called, any Premier League team apart from City and how's it called, um and Arsenal. For the other teams, Pioli will be perfect, no problem, because Pioli has enough tactical knowledge to hit the basics right, and enough tactical knowledge to actually mix it up a bit and put a bit of innovation and surprise the opposition tactics. The problem with Pioli, they never gave him a fucking striker in these 4 years. Never bought him a prime striker. but him always end career strikers. But for,
It'd
for
be,
Harry Potter, man, or Graham Potter, why we're linked with him? Who are the sources? Who's saying that?
I don't know. I mean, I think that they are. I do agree with Nathan when he says that this management is very infatuated with the EPL and they want to be, an EPL team kind of thing. Um, and I do see them get a coach like that, a Graham Potter or whatever, whoever is. I don't know who the coaches in England are, the English coaches or the American coaches or a German coach.
Mm. I mean, they will do a big mistake. That probably will be such a massive mistake that no one can cover them anymore.
Now, okay, but let's go into Fantasyland now, or maybe not Fantasyland. Let's talk about coaches that are right now. Maybe they're out of our reach. Maybe I don't know. What about other coaches in England or Spain that you think could be good for Milan?
Okay, Xavi Alonso would be amazing.
Xavi Alonso, really,
Yeah,
he's doing
he
really
will,
well in Germany. I know he's doing really well. I don't know how he plays because I've never watched Frankfurt.
he
What
will
do you
be
know about him?
amazing for us. Yeah.
Why do you think?
Wow, he's a fucking football legend. He's won Champions League with Real Madrid, Liverpool. He's played in England, Spain, Germany.
Yeah.
One of the best midfielder in terms of brain football. He's doing well already as a coach, and he was a great midfielder. So that means his career will be great as a coach.
Well, it seems to be a pattern.
It's,
Great
it's,
mid.
it's happening already.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's hard for him to get it wrong in the next job because he's doing it right in the last two jobs he had.
mm, okay, what about Klopp?
Mm, I don't think we have the ability to bring the players that club needs to play his football. That's
Do
the
you
thing.
think? But do you think Klopp would be able to pretty much, let's say, mold the players that
No,
we will have into more of pressing machines?
no, because if club doesn't have the players that he likes, not that he likes, that can perform the football he wants, his football completely crumbles. I remember the moment Van Dijk got injured for 6 months, ACL. Liverpool completely went out of the race. They didn't find the solution to cover that situation. He still played the football that he knows, and he paid the price for it. Um, it doesn't mold his football. It just keeps the same these ideas, and that's it.
Egan says Klopp isn't expensive and he doesn't need $1 billion like Pep.
No, no. Listen, Klopp and Pep have spent the same amount of money. They spend the same amount of money. The only difference is the Klopp spend the money they got from selling players. Pep spent the money from money that the club had already. So, but the amount of money is the same. Club got 150 million pounds from Coutinho and spent it straight away. Club this season spent 200 million, if I'm not wrong.
But listen, he must have a positive impact on the team. Like he is a good coach. So
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course, he's a good coach, but the thing is, you need to buy him the players. He needs to play that coach. So for me, the way I see football, a good coach for me is a coach that changes his football beliefs. Jurgen Klopp has one football belief, and he's been playing that for the last at least 10 years, and he doesn't change it. The team is playing shit, is losing points, is not winning games. He keep playing it the same way. He makes the same mistakes over and over. He
so
doesn't evolve.
so you
He's
think
stubborn.
So you wouldn't take Klopp because you think we wouldn't be able to get the players he needs. So for you, Klopp is a no, essentially.
Yeah, the Klopp is a no for me. And by the way, Klopp is at the, I'm not saying at the end of his career, but
No.
he's going on that direction that
Mm.
from now on he will still win for sure, but less and less.
Yeah, for me, Klopp would be very interesting. I would be very interested to see Klopp in Italy. For some reason, I feel like Klopp in Italy would do better than other foreign coaches. Like I feel like Klopp would assimilate easier. There's something about his personality that makes me think that. I'm surprised you would say no to Klopp. I mean, but your motives are I heard why. Like I mean, it is true that you need a lot of money if you need to get most common players. So, but okay, what about the most wanted man in football, Guardiola?
Mm, Guardiola, yeah. I mean, even Guardiola, man, requires a lot of. First of all, Roy Guardiola will bring his 25 people with him. He
Yeah,
has
no,
a
okay.
staff around him that is like even the sporting director of fucking Man City is Guardiola's friend. The guy used to run Barcelona before, now runs Man City.
Yeah, no,
So
listen.
Guardiola will come at Milan and will say, "Who the fuck is Furlani? And I want my guy there."
Okay, no, that's interesting. So you think Guardiola would not come to Milan because he has to deal with Furlani, essentially.
Yeah.
But
So
if
Guardiola,
if
exactly.
Maldini was there, I think Guardiola would come.
Yeah, I mean, he will start to have still he still will want his people, but I think Maldini will deal with his people in a better
Oh
way
yeah,
because they will speak the
sure.
same language. They will understand each other.
You see that's actually a huge difference with the structure that actually with the entire structure that we had before the Redbird structure. This particular problem that you posed, which is a reality, with the structure we had before, Maldini, Masada, Gazidis, Guardiola would have come to Milan. With the structure that we have now, I agree with you. Like, if I'm Guardiola, I would be like, no, why would I want to go there?
Yeah, that's the thing. So if Guardiola comes at the Maldini when Maldini is running Milan, maybe Massara will leave, and the person of Guardiola will be at the Massara's place.
Or maybe Masada stays and there are three of them.
Yeah, or becomes him becomes the CEO, and Maldini and Massara are sporting director, um, and Guardiola is a coach. So, in an ideal situation, if Guardiola brings all his people, physios, and everything like that, yeah, I say yes, of course. I'm not crazy. Of course, he's a great coach. He will attract the biggest players in the world
Okay,
because
okay.
everyone wants to play for Guardiola. So I say yes, but our ownership cannot handle Guardiola, cannot handle that type of ambition.
The sad thing for me when we say Guardiola is that it's such a defeat. It is such a huge defeat for Milan to be a team with the pedigree that we have. And then when you say the name Guardiola, it's like that Guardiola will never coach in Milan ever because
Yeah.
Milan is too small for him right now, which is really sad. That's a really sad thing. What about Ancelotti? Would you take Ancelotti back?
Yeah, yeah, I will take Ancelotti back. Yeah, 100%. He's going to Brazil though, Roy. So can you give me a name that actually is possible?
Um, no, the name that came up to me today was Sarri because Lazio is doing really poorly, and Lotito is a little bit crazy sometimes, and he could maybe fire Sarri, and that means he would be available. And I think if Milan want to get another coach, Conte and Sarri are your two best options right
Mm.
now. Claudia says Klopp is nothing special. Libyan Samurai says Emery. Emery from how is Emery actually? How do you rate him?
He's doing well with Aston Villa. is look, Aston Villa is fifth and is few points behind third. So yeah, if Aston Villa wins tomorrow, it's gonna be 28 points. So it's the same amount of points of Liverpool, just a bit less than City. So Emery is doing well. Una Emery. I mean, every fucking foreigner coach that goes there does well. So it's just every fucking foreigner coach with a good tactical preparation unlocks the Premier League easily.
Yeah, yeah. It seems the Premier
Easily.
League seems to be a very easy league because it's just very straightforward. So there's a lot of room for creativity. And just like for some reason, like the English Federation has never been able to build and create top level coaches. Like I don't know how, such a crazy thing to think about.
Because is the coaches, the English coaches, they grow up with English football and that's it. They don't understand the other footballs in Europe.
I mean, but at the same time, look, I don't want to just bash it because there is a certain, like positivity. It's entertaining football to watch, I guess.
No, no,
I
no.
don't.
The English football is entertaining. The English players see football in a dumb way sometimes. They just see it at a high intensity. That's it. I remember Guardiola in the press, in front of the press, says, "You guys are too much boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you need to slow down the tempo and bring it high again and slow it down again. So you confuse the opposition. You create traps inside the game. Sometimes you need to go lower in the pitch, let your opponent come over and bring the intensity high and go up. And in England, the English coaches doesn't understand that basic concept. Sometimes you need to put the rhythm down.
It is so strange to me that even with the insertion of all the best coaches in the world, still you don't get English coaches that are learning from.
The Newcastle coach is a bit more, is not an English coach. Let's say that doesn't play English football.
Oh, he's English, bro.
Yeah, he's English, but he doesn't play English football.
Okay, okay, yeah, got you. He plays more defensive.
He plays defensive. When he wants, he goes on a counter. When he needs, he goes high press.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So he changes a lot his game. So you cannot define him and say, "Oh,
He's
he
quite
plays that
tactical.
specific football." Yeah,
So he's quite tactical.
yeah. He finds ways to lose time, to lower the tempo. Some games he really sits deep and waits for the opposition. Like PSG waited deep, just waited and went on a counter. Something that English coaches don't do. They go full gun blaze and they get three from PSG probably.
But you know what, Larry? The thing about that is, you know, I don't want to get into this, but even with what Sari was saying of how the English promote their football, thing is that the football they play in England is easy to promote because it's so like that, so straightforward. Anyway, I didn't want to get into that conversation.
No, no,
Um,
I agree with you on that. That type of spirit is more easy to export because everyone sees themselves in that type of spirit.
yeah,
No one, everyone likes a fight, wherever you go in the world. Is
right.
international. The fight.
Yeah, and chess is boring. Chess is boring, but fighting is fun. In
Exactly.
Italy we have a lot of chess, while in
I, look, in Italy, in my opinion, is the league in Europe that combines uh, all the elements of the other leagues. So let me break. In Italy, you have the fight that you can have in England. Just there is the dark heart of faking yellow cards, red cards, and that you get it in Spain and in South America. There is the tactical knowledge in Italy that most of the time is mixed. You have the guy that is super defensive, the guy that likes possession, the guy that likes counter attack. There's a lot of mix. It's not a trend in Italy. Plus, you have the quality. You have those, quality players. They like the dribbling, the fantasy, and creativity. So in Italy, you have a mix of everything you can find in Europe.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good point. There is a lot to sell there. There's definitely a lot to sell.
But it's a product that, because it has so many mixes, I think Sari is right. It's a product you cannot sell to the audience that likes highlights on YouTube.
Mm.
That is a product you should sell for the real football fans that understand tactics, that love the spirit, the dynamics in the league. The derby between Lazio and Roma, the Inter and Milan. You know, the Juventus, all the
Right.
story behind.
And that is very. I think Italy is a little bit closed off too, so it's a little bit more difficult to export. Um, Arsenal. Who's coaching Arsenal?
Arteta.
Arteta, the Spanish man. So the two Spanish men are top of the league.
So
Arteta,
there's
Guardiola,
two Spanish, German, Australian, Spanish, and finally an English sixth place.
then
And
Italian, then Dutch.
Italian, Dutch, and English, and Chelsea, I think, is Argentinian. So two English coach on the top 10.
That's crazy to me. That is insane. That is such a crazy thing. It is so strange that England has this deficiency. Let's call it a deficiency with coaches.
Yeah, if Allegri goes there, he goes on that top 10 easily.
Well, depends. He could even win it if you give him.
Yeah, you can literally win it, man. Fucking hell.
Very interesting factoid. What about underneath Chelsea?
Well, look at this. Spain, Dutch, English, German, Italian, Spanish. I think was Italian, and Bradford is Northern Europe, and Fulham was, I think, Spanish. So top 10 last year at the end of the league, there was just one English coach. That's it.
Wow.
And I told everyone Eddie Howe is the best coach in England, and he's the only English, of course, English coach, and he's the only one that can stay in that top 10 because West Ham will go down. If you look at the table this year, West Ham will go down because Chelsea will go up and Bradford will go up.
Who's
So
coaching the lower teams, Larry?
all English coaches, man.
Are these all English?
Most of them, yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Most of them are English coaches. So who's lower on the table are usually English coaches. Higher are all foreigner coaches.
Mm, 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 mm.
So when they say English football is the best in the world, there is something wrong in that sentence.
Oh, West Ham is Scottish, not English.
Oh, it's not even. So basically, still, again, just one English coach. Somebody needs to tell me who is the coach of Bradford because I think he's not English. I think he's German.
Edison asks, you think Capello still has the ability to coach?
No.
Well, yeah, I don't know. He retired. He
No,
retired.
because he doesn't understand the new generation. He's a grandpa, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Capello. He was great though. He was great. He's a disciplinarian.
Yeah, how can you do that, man? He will be like you cannot. You need to go to sleep at 9.
Yeah. No phones. You get to
Oh,
use your
Danish.
phone only once a week.
So
Coach
the
at Brentford.
Bradford coach is Danish.
That is insane to me, Larry. That is such an insane stat. This stat here with English football for me is as crazy as the stat that I saw about Brazil, that they've never lost a game in almost 100 years of football, a World Cup qualifying game in Brazil, aside the one they lost. This fact that the English just cannot produce top level coaches. They only have one coach in the top 10 of the EPL. To me, is such a crazy thing.
Okay, I'll tell you something, Roy. Listen to this. 2023 Manchester City wins the league, Spanish coach. 22 City wins the league, Spanish coach. 21 City wins the league, Spanish coach. 2020 Liverpool wins the league, Spanish coach. 2019 City wins the league, Spanish coach. 2018 City wins the league, Spanish coach. 2017 Chelsea wins the league, Italian coach. 2016 Leicester wins the league, Italian coach. 2015 Chelsea wins the league, I think was Mourinho, or yeah, I think it was Mourinho. 2015. 2014 City wins the league, I think was how's he called, Mancini, or I think it was Mancini, yeah. 2013 Man United wins the league as a Scottish coach, Ferguson. 2012 Man City wins the league, is that coach that coached the Real
No,
Madrid as well.
nobody's ever won. No English coaches ever won the Premier League. That is another
Exactly.
stat.
Since 1991, when the Premier League started, 1992 or 1993, I think was the first year. No Premier League coach has won it. But I'm going more. I want to be more detailed with you. Until 2000, there were just foreigner coaches. Arsenal won it with Wenger, and Man United won it with Ferguson. Chelsea with Mourinho and Ancelotti. So that is crazy. 2001, 98 Wenger again. We're talking about 30 years of non-English coach winning their own league.
Yeah, that is an insane stat in the world of football. It's one of the crazy stats in world football.
That says that your football is inferior. You need other people from other leagues, from other football knowledge to improve it because it's inferior.
Well, something about it is well, yeah, sure. Let's use that word inferior. Something about it. Obviously, look, there are things about English football that the physicality, the tension, and you have really good players there. But when it comes to man management, I guess, tactics, decision making, leading a group, leadership, there's a huge deficiency there.
So people are saying 2015 was Conte. Who was 2017 then? I think Conte was 2017. 2015 was Mourinho. Because Mourinho came back, won the league, and second year, or am I wrong?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, second year Mourinho finished 11th or something like that.
Sorry,
But yeah,
and
maybe I'm wrong. No, Sarri didn't win the league. Sarri won the Europa League with Chelsea and the FA Cup. Yeah, never been won by an English.
insane, insanity. All right, so
And there was a. Do you want to hear something more insane?
what's that?
Conte, Ancelotti, Mancini, Ranieri, four Italian coaches won it.
When you're saying the Spanish, is that all Guardiola?
Or Guardiola, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know. Italian coaches.
Pellegrini was the guy. I think he's Argentinian that won it with City before Mancini.
Yeah, no, Larry, it's crazy. Italian coaches that are struggling to win stuff in the top four in Italy go there and they win the Premier League. I
And
mean, you have the Ranieri example is insane. It's like Gianpaolo goes to England and he wins the fucking Premier League, dude. It's like what? What's
the
going on?
Derby will go and
Something
win
is
it.
going on.
The Derby will go and win it.
Yeah, obviously the Zerbi with Man City, he'd be winning it for sure. Or Arsenal, he'd probably be winning it. When was the last time an English coach? Oh yeah, never won it. Never won it. Interesting. All right, Larry. So, any other topics? We spoke about the game. We got the Wednesday game coming up. I guess let's finish on that. What's going on? How do you see the Wednesday game coming up? Um, do you see us winning it? Are you expecting the stadium to go crazy? What do you see?
Well, I see. So we're playing against Borussia Dortmund.
Okay.
We need to win. It will be embarrassing if we finish this group without beating Borussia Dortmund at least once. So we need to beat Borussia Dortmund, and we need PSG and Newcastle to draw.
Mm. Okay, so let's look at these scenarios. So if we win against Dortmund, the best scenario would be a tie or Newcastle to win.
No tie.
A tie would be the best scenario.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we win against Dortmund, we go 8 points. If PSG and Newcastle tie, PSG goes 7 points, Newcastle goes 5. With 8 point and PSG having 7 and Borussia Dortmund having 7, PSG and Borussia Dortmund will play against each other. So we don't even need to win against Newcastle.
Okay, okay,
We can even lose against Newcastle because one between Borussia Dortmund and PSG will nullify themselves. You
got it.
understand?
So the best would be a tie, low scoring tie, probably.
No,
Uh,
no, just a tie. A tie is done. We are through. We win against Borussia Dortmund and PSG and Newcastle tie. We are through.
really?
Yeah, because PSG has to play with Borussia Dortmund. These are the only two teams that they can catch us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So if PSG wins, what is the situation there? If PSG wins,
PSG wins, it gets a bit more complicated because PSG goes 9, we go 8, and Borussia Dortmund is 7. So that would make Borussia Dortmund still be in the game. So Borussia Dortmund beats PSG, reaches us, can reach us if we don't win against Newcastle.
now if Newcastle loses, they're out of the
Oh yeah,
race.
they're out.
If we win, if we win. Oh no, no, they're going to be out. I think they're
They're
going to
already
be in.
out. I mean, I think they are basically out. They need to win against PSG. If they win against PSG, they're in.
Yeah, they need to win. They need to win for sure. Newcastle, for them, this is their last chance to go through. I think.
Yeah, they need to win, or even a draw for them probably will
Well, I
work.
guess I guess if we tie and they tie, then Newcastle still has a chance.
Oh yeah, yeah. Still, everyone will have a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if both games end in a tie, then it'll still be open.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the stadium to be crazy, like always. I'm expecting the team to be motivated, focused. I think they can pull it off. I think they can pull it off. I'm not too worried about Dortmund, even though Dortmund does have a good team. Can't underestimate them. They have a good midfield, very good midfield. They have dangerous strikers, but I think we can match them. I feel pretty confident that we can do it. How are you feeling regarding your confidence?
Uh, if Leao was playing, I would be like, yeah, we're gonna win for sure.
Okay, so that's a great discussion. Lau is not playing. Uh,
Now I feel like it's a more 50-50. I want to see how we approach the game from the beginning. I think the atmosphere will be incredible. That will play a big part. So I think that 12 man will win that game against Borussia Dortmund.
yeah, that's I agree. That's how I see it too. I think that's going to be the key factor.
It's massive. And hopefully the referee doesn't do any clever decision, those stupid red cards, 20 minutes the beginning, things like that.
Yeah, yeah. You can always be at the mercy of a referee in the Champions League, which really sucks.
Yeah.
Really sucks.
A referee mistake in Serie A on 38 games influences minimally the end result.
Yeah, in the Champions League, one mistake can completely take you out, derail you completely. Okay, well, is there anything else, Laird? I think we've spoken about everything we need to speak about today. Um, I'm looking forward to the Wednesday game. Oh, okay. There's actually one more question here. Let's do this one more question. Then I'm going to head out, Laird. We need at least no. Which one was it?
January.
January is coming up. Yeah, there it is. Who would you buy?
Uh, hmm. I will see. I will go to Chelsea.
Okay, what's going on in Chelsea?
In Chelsea, they have a lot of players, and a lot of them are not playing. And I think they have a lot of talent there to be uh, to be taken. I'm sure some of them are not happy. They're not playing a lot.
Are you speaking about Broya?
Broy is one of them, of course, but there is few of them that can help us.
But which ones? Give me some names, just so I can have an idea.
Let me give me a second because Chelsea has a long squad.
Now,
So
listen, there are some guys that I would love to have at Milan. Nkunku, I'd love to have Nkunku at Milan.
no, it's not gonna happen. Boy, come on, man. This is a serious podcast. We
uh,
never mentioned the chance to get Nkunku in this podcast.
um, uh, Mudrik, how is Mudrik doing? Mudrik was being sold at the media as this top talent. He did okay against Italy, but he doesn't
He's
look
a
like
good
that.
talent. He's a good talent. Where is the formation? I want to see Chelsea's formation. Oh, is here? I think yeah, formation. Okay. So this guy is good. The
Oh,
number
that,
16.
that's information, really? What happened to Madueke, Kunku?
No, Madueka never plays, man. I've watched Madueka, by the way. It's nothing. He came in second half, but it's nothing special, by the way. He can do well. He's not. He's better than how's he called Chukwueze, and probably even better than Pulisic. But it's not crazy, good. He has a lot to learn, by the way. He's super young. He's still 21, 22. So uh,
But like against us in that friendly, he looked great. So you saw him live. Mm. No, okay, I hear you. I hear you.
so Broya is one of them. If you want a striker and don't find yourself in a situation to play at 15 years old,
Oh wow, these guys aren't even starting. Caicedo's not starting. Madueke is not starting. Mudrik is not starting.
And these are just the guys that he called out. So if I go to the list of Chelsea's, probably
These guys turned out all to be normal players, essentially.
uh, Chelsea squad. Let me show it to you. Let me share the website so we can have an idea. Here we go. So this Kukureya is not playing a lot. I will go for him. He will be a good backup for Theo Hernandez in the second part of the season, especially if you go through the group and you have a lot of games, Coppa Italia, Champions League, and Serie A. I will go for him. Loan, simple loan with option to buy. So if he does well, Chelsea gets, because Chelsea is trying to sell him, and maybe he wants to play a bit more. Chalobah, I don't know how much he's playing, but he's a good center back. He can be useful for us considering that we have a lot of injuries and maybe we need an extra center backs. This guy will never come. Levi Colway is never gonna come. No, Fofana, no. Son, look at how many player defenders they have, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 defenders.
Crazy.
This guy here, midfielder, Chukwuemeka. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been linked to him quite a lot.
If he's not playing a lot, I will inquire for a loan with option to buy, or just a loan if they need players to play. I don't know if Lavia is playing. Romeo Lavia, if he had a chance to play, I will get him. I will inquire for him. I don't think they will get rid of Mudrik, Sterling, Madueke. Probably we would not go for him because we have 55 right wings.
Hmm.
So, and Broya as a striker will be an option.
Wow,
If
this
you got,
team is really poor in quality in the end, to be honest with you.
oh yeah, it's just a massive bet. It's like a NBA draft. The
Mm.
guy came here and did the draft, got all the best talents in Europe, and now I realize the talent is not what just everything. So these are options I put out there. Of course, maybe they're not even possible because they. But Broya, for example, I know he's not playing a lot with Albania. The coach is not calling him, and there is rumors that he's saying that he's a bit upset, and as Silvino, the Albanian, the coach of Albania, didn't call him. So I mean, maybe in January it will be like, oh shit, the Euro is coming. If I don't fucking play consistent football, maybe there's a chance I get left out.
Yeah, and it's very important for him for sure.
So it will is easy to convince, in my opinion, at this point. And Jovic can be our third striker.
Jovic.
Well, there is players you can pick from here. I think Kukureya and Broya are possible. Consider the amount of minutes I play. Madueke would have been possible, but it's not. We have right wings. In the midfield, Chukwuemeka can be the guy that can come. And of course, if Chelsea is out of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, at that point, probably they will be like, yeah, fuck it. These guys are not going to play anymore. Let's get them.
Mm. Okay, interesting. Honestly, dude, I don't know who I would get for the winter. I don't have any names, guys. I don't have any names. For
And
me, for me, nothing changes. Whoever comes in, I don't think much changes. I just think the structure of the club is a problem. So names to me right now are not important.
Let me address this. So Broya is playing, but he's coming from the bench, or he's playing some cup games. The moment Nkunku comes back, I don't think Broya will play enough. I don't think he will play enough games he wants to play. So that's what I'm saying. So I think there is a chance there to convince Broya to come. Uh, in Serie A, are we linked on any Serie A player?
No, we're not linked to any Serie A players. But we are linked to a bunch of players. Jonathan Davis being one, Gurasi being another one, Indy War being another one. Um, I don't know. For me, I honestly don't know. I do not know who to get in a fantasy mercato. Probably, I would say. I mean, I don't know if I'd get Taremi anymore. To be honest with you,
No, it's not gonna happen. I don't think Taremi is gonna happen.
um, I don't think any of these. Like at the end of the day, my thing is this: is like I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters unless we see a big difference, a big jump in quality in the structural of the club and leadership. Be after you know, not the players, but after that, it doesn't matter to me. So I'll leave it at that for me. Chunk says he'd go for Zelinski. Zelinski's nice. And Jalo for free. Kefren Turam, very good. Kefren Turam. Gurasi. Gurasi is this guy that scored a lot of goals in Germany. Juan Neves, I don't know him. I don't know Sanket Scalvini, too expensive, and this club will never get him. Coyote, same thing. Milan will never get Coyote. Uh,
Why? It's too expensive.
Coyote is, first of all, he's Italian, so, and he is. I mean, if you're going to get Coyote, you got to get him now because next year he's going to be too expensive. You know,
Where he plays?
Fiorentina. Coyote is is the kid that scored the goal in the final of the U19 Euro against Portugal,
Mm,
the 1-0. Very good player, really good player. He broke into Fiorentina as a 19-year-old,
good.
um, and he was injured today, so we didn't see him. But he's been doing great with Italy, with the U19s, with the U18s. He's done them all from the U15. He did also a little bit of U21. He's destined to be a national team player. The thing is, like, you got to get him now, otherwise it's going to
Yeah,
be too expensive.
but this guy Zelinsky is not for free in January. It's for free at the end of the season. No one is for free at the in January. Usually contracts ends in June.
Who's Solanke? Bournemouth Solanke. Who's this guy?
I heard about him, but not sure.
So don't know why we were not going for Icardi. Now Madrid wants him.
Icardi. Nah, Real Madrid doesn't have a striker. That's why he's looking for a patch until Mbappe or whatever they will go and buy next year. They need like a 6 months patch this January.
Jonathan David to Milan seems 70% gonna happen.
I mean, I'm not against the Jonathan David buy.
No, never mind. I think it's a good player. He's a good player. I mean, at least from what I've seen, his numbers seem good. When I look at his highlights, he seems to have some important qualities. I don't think I've seen many games, 90-minute games. So, but I am considering that too.
Yeah, he's a no, no. He's a good. I've seen him some of his games, and he's a good player, man. He's been scoring, relatively young, but not too young. It's um, it's a no-brainer for me.
Well, he was the next player up, right? So he was like out of all the names in Europe of a certain age, Jonathan David was top of the list when it came to like the 22-year-olds of last year. And now I think he's 23, 24. So he's the next one up. If we can get him, I think that'll be good. I think that should be a good. Now, yeah, Orlando says he's having a very poor season. That is true. He is having a very poor season.
So I want to correct myself. The guy is 180 tall, so he's not a short striker. He has a good height. He's not a natural number nine, but he can play as a number nine, in my opinion.
Hmm. Chung says I expect some important players to be sold next summer, Theo, so we could get Scalvini, but I still prefer to invest mostly on other areas. What makes you think we're getting Scalvini? Where is this coming from?
Um,
I've never seen Milan being linked to Scalvini, especially this under this management.
uh, Jonathan David is doing really bad this season. He had 4 goals and 2 assists in 16
Oh,
8 appearance.
that's not good.
So clearly is kind of done with Lille.
That's what it looks like.
23 years old, going for 24. In general, will be 24. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. So I don't know how the fuck this guy ended up being Canadian, but that's fine. Can you explain this, Roy?
I don't know.
How
It's
someone born in Brooklyn, New York, is a
Canada
Canadian?
and America is the same thing. It's the
Nah,
same.
I mean, so might as well just be American.
Yeah, you pretty much can
Is it
choose.
because they didn't call him for the with the U.S. national team, so he's
No, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what his background is. I don't know where
born
he
in
is
Brooklyn?
native.
You know, in US, if you're born in US, you get the nationality straight away.
Right. I don't know why he's playing for Canada. That's what I'm saying.
Um,
I don't know. Baldanzi, yeah, again, this management not interested in in the young Italians. All right,
is
Larry, listen, I gotta go. I gotta go, Larry.
Yeah, let's close it, man. Let's close it. It was a good one.
Were you about to say one more thing? Go ahead.
What I was saying, another thing is these are major decisions. So Baldanzi, these type of players are quite specific type of players. So I will wait for the coach first to make a move like this, or I will buy a higher coach that will play Baldanzi. So you know on the
Yeah,
conversation when
yeah,
you're
that's right.
close to hiring him. Yeah, I like Baldanzi. I'm gonna play with the number 10 with the
Like
with,
Spalletti will play Baldanzi, Baldanzi.
yeah,
But you get another coach like Conte, and Baldanzi is not seeing the pitch.
yeah. So I don't know if this concept is, you know what I mean, known to Forlani and Moncada.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Moncada was at the stadium today. He was happy. All right,
And
Larry. So Wednesday we're going to have a big game.
it's not
So
Wednesday, man. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Anyway,
Wait, no, 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 no.
no,
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right because
it's Tuesday
today's.
because we played today Saturday. So
Yeah, that's right.
Who
Even
plays
better.
Sundays is gonna play on Wednesday.
Even better. Okay, cool. So tomorrow we got a few big games. We'll see how they go. And Tuesday, we're back at it. Yeah, Tuesday, November 28th. Milan Dortmund, big game. We'll be here, we'll be live. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, man. Forza Milan. Have a good night, guys.
Forza Milan. Ciao.